welcome back to Cookery and Crying. Today we are making a recipe from this book, Cake Days from the Hummingbird Bakery, recipes to make every day special. This was originally my mum's book, but she found the recipes too fiddly and was never going to use it. I've only used it once and I didn't follow the recipe properly, and so it didn't work. I attempted to make red velvet cake. Well, I didn't have all the ingredients. Tried to make my own buttermilk, that didn't curdle properly. It was just a very light chocolate cake rather than red velvet. So, starting from the beginning, we're going to be making tiramisu cupcakes. Now, I love tiramisu. You can't beat sweet cream cheese, strong coffee, cake. It's just perfect. So, we're going to make these. I forgot about this. I don't have a lot of space in this kitchen. I will say that. It's quite a small kitchen, but I do what I can. Using handheld electric whisk or freestanding electric whisker with a panel attachment, beat together butter, sugar, flour and salt. Butter was supposed to be softened. That's still rock hard. We're going to... Microwave's not plugged in. Okay. Everything's just in the way then. That's the coffee machine. Why are there so many plugs? There we go, microwave. Now we don't want it melted, so I've put it on medium low and half a minute. Because I forgot to take it out of the fridge before I started. I mean, if I had taken it out around lunchtime when I was making my lunch, it would have been fine, but I forgot, so it's not softened. How are we looking? You softer? Yeah, that works. Don't do that. You're not supposed to lick your fingers when you're cooking. It's bad. I mean, I am just cooking. Where's the... It's not gone now. I am just cooking for me, so it's not so much of a problem. But if I was cooking for like other people, I don't lick your fingers. Stay. Okay. Butter. Sugar. So that's 8 grams of sugar, no, 8 grams of butter, 280 grams of caster sugar. I use granulated because I can't be bothered buying two different things. 240 grams of plain flour. We don't need the milk just yet, so we're going to move you over there so you don't get knocked over, because that is the kind of thing I do. Over that bag. Excuse. Oh, everybody in the room. This is a bit. Not advisable, don't do this at home. There we go. About 1 tablespoon. One tablespoon. See, when I'm baking, normally I just use self-raising flour. Don't bother with the because then I don't have to worry about, you know, adding a raising agent, it's already mixed in. I suppose I could do that with this and just get the baking powder and the salt, but last time I tried that, it didn't work. Well, it did. The cake still rose. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Perfect. Low speed. I could make fine of breadcrumbs doing this with my hands. Okay? There's a lump of butter that you're missing, Mr. Mixer. Will you marry me? So... Wait, no, I can't sing that one. Ah, that'll do. Okay. Break the eggs into a jug. And then add the milk. Okay. 2 large eggs. 1. 2. Because I am paranoid, I'm gonna use a thing. Now, this is a good little tip. Especially if you're like me, you occasionally buy eggs in the reduced section. And you're worried that they may not be usable. Break them into a separate container first. Also good if you use fresh eggs, like from your own hens or someone else's hens. And you're not sure, you know, how fresh they are. It's a good way to do it. Add the milk. And vanilla essence. How much vanilla essence? Half a tablespoon. Come on. Half a teaspoon. Half a tablespoon. Half a teaspoon, Alice. Half a teaspoon. Tablespoon is way too much. Half a teaspoon. Turn to the refrigerator and whisk my hand. Ow, that was my nail. Whisk my hand. Here is whisk. This is a much more simple recipe than the last one. I know what I'm doing with cakes. Okay. I'm going to low speed, slowly pour 3/4 of the wet ingredients into the flour. Oh, nice, even mix. Scrape down everything. Straight on the side of the bowls, pick up any ingredients that were missed, then add the rest of the milk mixture and mix the batter again now at a medium speed. That was gigantic. evenly between the cases. Filling them up to 2/3. Okay. Need to stop messing with my hair. Need to stick it tight back. That's what you need to do. I have seen people use ice cream scoops so they can make sure they're getting the same amount per case. I don't have an ice cream scoop, otherwise I would be doing that. It's a very runny mixture. I have no idea if it's meant to be or not, so just want to keep batter, so hopefully. No! Spoon! Find that spoon. It just goes. Let me read into the lava of my gloom. Those look 2/3 full to me, but I'm terrible at assessing volume and quantity. As has been evident in a lot of my life. I didn't realise how much flour I'd spilt on the floor. Just walked through the house, and now there are flour footprints on my carpet. What I'm doing now is just cleaning up the bits I spilt. All these little drops, they don't burn when it's in the oven. Okay. Okay. We're going to put about 18 to 20 minutes until well risen and springy. Now, while those are baking, we're going to do some of the dishes because we need the dishes back. And while we're doing the dishes, we can talk crime. Once the water's finished running. Hopefully none of you needed a pee because you definitely will now. Come on, you talk. Now we shall talk crime. Specifically, a woman named Giulia Tofana. Giulia Tofana.
The correct pronunciation is Giulia. Not Giulia, not Giuliana. Giulia. Giulia Tofana. I'm mentioning this now because there is another 10-20 minutes of footage before I realise that I've been pronouncing it wrong. In reality, this was about an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm an idiot, just ignore me.
Now, she lived in Italy, born in Palermo, in the 1700s. No, sorry, 1600s. 17th century, 1600s. I always get confused with that. Anyway, she lived then. Apparently she worked a lot with alchemists, apothecaries. Not alchemists, definitely apothecaries. She worked a lot with apothecaries and learnt about poisons and things. although some sources say that she learned how to make poisons, etc., from her mother. Now, Tofana was executed in Rome for the murder of 600 men. Now, you might be wondering how on earth one person managed to poison 600 men without being classed as like the world's greatest serial killer, or worst serial killer, greatest serial killer, depending on, you know, what aspect you're looking at, and you know, not know, and you know, maybe people not hearing about it. The thing is, Giulia, she didn't kill the men herself. She made poisons. Specifically, one poison that was marketed as Aqua Tofana. Tofana water, basically. And it was sold in bottles that looked like perfumes, makeups, even, you know, holy oils or waters. The kind of things that a woman back then could have sitting on her nightstand or dressing table, and no one questioned. These poisons were specifically sold to women in abusive relationships. Now, back then, divorce wasn't a thing, especially not for the women. The man could probably leave you if he wanted, but you couldn't leave him even if he was abusive. So she sold this poison, which was odourless, tasteless, crystal clear, just like water. A few drops. No one would ever know that it was in their food when they tasted it. And then these women's problems were, well, gone. Just like that. And a lot of them would probably inherit, and if not, then their children would. And no one would expect you to remarry, not after losing your dear husband. Now, the customer involved the papal authorities, because at this point she was living in Rome. They involved the papal authorities, who were at that point in charge of Rome, that this was happening. However, the people, her clients, her relatives, her neighbours, all loved her. And so they helped her hide. On top of that, they also helped her escape. She ran to a church and hid inside, claiming sanctuary, so the police couldn't do anything. However, somebody, most likely part of the papal authorities, started a rumour that Miss Tofana had poisoned the waters in Rome. And because of this, the police then had an excuse to disregard the laws of sanctuary, barge into the church and drag her out. Now, under torture, she confessed to killing 600 men. Under torture, so we can't guarantee that she killed that many, or that she didn't kill more, to be honest. I mean, it's highly likely she may have killed more. Thing is, we do know that she was executed, and that after she was executed, her body was thrown over the wall of the church that hid her, because, you know, how dare you defy the Pope? Don't at me. It was a lot worse back then. So, her daughter was executed as well because she apparently would help her mother make the poisons. And several of her customers were also arrested. However, as much as I don't condone murder, I make that clear, I do not condone murder, it is bad. You know, we can maybe see where she was coming from. Can't really blame the poor girl. No one could get divorced. You can't blame any of the women that use the services either. You couldn't get a divorce and your husband was legally allowed to beat the crap out of you no matter why. Oh dear. Now, as you can see, some of them were a little bit zealous. I may have overfilled them a little, but they said that they should have. I don't know if the oven was too hot or what, but this is what's happened. These two are fine. These, look at them. But it's fine, because we can fix it. We just cut those bits off, it's fine. See, perfectly normal cake, kind of. I mean, we have to cut into them anyway to make the tiramisu, so... What, I have D&D tonight. Cake scraps make very nice snacks. Also, if you take off the cake that is burnt on there, you don't end up with soggy bits in the sink. Trust me, I lived with someone who would put plates covered with bread with crusts from her cheese on toast and sandwiches into the sink. She would get rid of them. It's not like she'd wash her dishes straight away either. No. It would just be soggy bread in the sink when I went to do my dishes. It was disgusting. Some soggy, half-chewed crusts. It was disgusting. Disgusting. Right. Now, we are on to the fun part. We need to make the syrup, the soaking saucepan. Don't look in here. It's very messy. Shh, don't tell Bob. Okay. Round. Oh, that's the kilos, pounds and ounces, water. See, 250 mils of strong coffee. I made this today, and enough coffee grounds for like 5 cups. And got enough water for just over 2 cups, so we'll see. Just right. Let's see. I read it as the right amount. So, 250 mils strong coffee, 75 mils of Kahlua. Now, Kahlua is expensive because it's branded, so I got supermarket's own coffee liqueur because it's the exact same thing. So that's 60 ml. 5, 10. You literally have a spoon that is 15 ml, and yet you just measured out 3 cheap. Brain, engage it, please. Naughty Nana. Coffee liqueur. Which honestly I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest of way more than I will probably enjoy drinking the sherry. Saucepan and stir in the sugar. I found how very well. Okay, sugar. Three tablespoons. Again, says caster sugar. I'm using granulated. 1, 2, 3. Each spoon. 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 Now, basically what we want to happen here is for the sugar to dissolve, and then we have to bring it to the boil, and then allow it to reduce by half. So it becomes an actual syrup rather than just like a runny liquid. And if there's any left over, I'm having it as an espresso martini. Don't have a martini glass. No, I don't have a martini glass. Well, it won't be a martini because it's very runny. I'll just top it up with something else. No, I don't have a martini glass or anything that could be used as a trendy martini glass. Just have to be a wine glass. Or, you know, stick it in a nice glass top with a straw and tell people it's iced coffee. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. No one will know. How would they know? So yeah, D&D tonight. Because it's Wednesday tonight. I'm filming this on Wednesday. Wednesday is, at the moment, the... I forgot that was the one with the burnt oil. The day I play a half-elf rogue who can't read or write. A little bit of a stereotype, to be honest. But it's fun. She somehow ended up still being the most intelligent in the party. Literally, my intelligence stats for the rest, compared to the rest of the characters, are much higher. And is technically the mum friend of the group because she's constantly telling people not to do the stupid thing. Especially the Dragonborn fighter who, likes to eat random things. Like kobolds and goblins. And we have an issue with that because one of the first things we did, one of the first little quests we had as a group, she decided we were going to have goblin barbecue. And what happened? What happened? Goblins came back to life, didn't they? Zombie goblins that she'd eaten. But no, that was a one-off. Apparently it's not a genuine concern that it might happen again, but they might wake up inside her stomach and go, oh. Anyway. I'm going to have a new one starting on Wednesdays as well. Not sure how that's going to go yet. I haven't played any games. New character. It's going to be a tiefling cleric. Lovely. Coffee, vanilla. Oof. And on Thursdays, because I won't be filming on Thursday. If anything, I may have an interview tomorrow. Jesus. Thursdays is my Earth Ganassi Barbarian who just took a level in Druid. Because we needed healing spells. Because we went from having a bard who could heal, a cleric healers, a bard who could heal, and a artificer warlock who healed, and a wizard bard who healed, and a new bard who healed, who could heal, but they never do. Pain in the bloody ass. To having the warlock artificer with like 2 first level healing spells. And the bard who can heal but very rarely heals. But has been healing more since my character in an RP moment with the warlock said, she's supposedly a healer, but she doesn't fucking heal. I shouldn't swear. So she doesn't heal. And that was it. So I decided, so we had the other bard as well for a while, and then I took a level in druid, got healing spells, yay. And then we lost the other bard, so I'm glad I took those spells, because otherwise we'd be fucking, I need to stop swearing, otherwise we'd be pretty screwed, because, what did I do with the tea towel? 2 seconds. Otherwise, it would be a case of death nearly every fight. We haven't really had combat since losing the first bard. It's probably a good thing. Do like my new spells though. I have Ray of Frost, Firebolt as cantrips, therefore. Create and destroy water. That's a very inventive way of using that, where you create water inside someone's lungs. I also think it would be quite fun to destroy water inside their brain. My friend thinks I need therapy, I don't know why. They also think it's slightly worrying that I know things like, how to make chloroform and how to make mustard gas. And like I said to them, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that the ingredients for these very dangerous things are so easily bought online. Like, not even online. I could walk into the supermarket. I could walk into a general store. I could walk into chemists, etc. and pick up the things I need to make mustard gas and chloroform. I actually have one of the ingredients in my house already. They're common cleaning supplies. Like, it's not my fault. If anything, it's the scientist's fault for, I don't know, making it so easy to make. I'm rambling. Because I've run out of story to tell. That is nice. Ooh. I can't wait for iced coffee weather again. Iced coffee weather is good. The only problem is I drink too much of it and then I get really bad anxiety. I mean, I already have bad anxiety, but I get worse anxiety. See? But that's the thing. People always say, that it makes me laugh. When in an argument, usually cis white men will say, get back in the kitchen. That's a bad idea. Because the last place you want to send an angry woman is the kitchen. There's bleach under my sink. And other cleaning fluids, and other cleaning supplies that could make you very ill. There's knives. And there's food which I could poison. So why would you send an angry woman, or an angry anyone, to the kitchen? To make you a sandwich. I'm just saying it's not very smart. Because it used to be easier. So much easier. You could just, you could buy arsenic in a in the chemist. Go down to the chemist and get arsenic. Why? Because it's rat poison. Why? Rat poison. I mean, I think in the States you can still buy arsenic-based rat poison. Can't in the UK. Now, I'm not saying that's a shame. I'm just saying you can't buy it anymore. But you could buy arsenic. Although, to be honest, it's still easy to these days. All you need is to know mascarpone cheese colour is, you know, things like where wolfsbane grows. Which I know. I know where the wolfsbane grows. And the belladonna. It really shouldn't be that easy. It's not my... And again, it is not my fault. These things are so easy to find. And just because I know how to find them, how to use them, doesn't mean I'm going to. Okay? $250 plus 75. 50 plus 50 is 300, and that leaves 25 left over, so that's 325. Because I can't tell if this is reduced or not. Oh, it has. Not by half though. 150. Two. Why are we measuring it on 15, 30, 45? Is that right? 30 plus 15. Well, yeah, 45. Plus 5 to make 50. Basically, we want this to be around 150. The only problem being here is that that then needs to cool. So we're not going to make the icing just yet. We're going to trim these. Trim the cakes, trim the cakey cakes. Trim me, trim the cakey cakes. Trim me cakes, trim the cakey cakes. Trim the cakey cakes. However, I do have a trick up my sleeve for cooling down the coffee syrup quickly. No, it does not include putting it in the fridge. It includes putting it in the other room, which is very cold compared to this room. Use this one for the cream because it's smaller, and that way it'll be much easier when we try and fold stuff in. Do it in a bigger bowl. Well, coffee liqueur. Gosh. Here's the thing. Where possible, I will always use non-brand or supermarket brand products because branded products are expensive. Nice. That is always very risky. Give me it back! Give me it back! This goes out of date today. Yeah, we're okay. 300 mils. Nice and sugar. Fold the whipped cream into the mascarpone, making sure it's evenly mixed. I hate folding. I'm not good at it. It's going down nicely though. So the idea with folding is that you're combining something like whipped cream that's got air in it with something that hasn't got air whipped into it, without losing that air. And as you can see, it is thickening. It is combining. It's just taking a while. Almost there. I don't think we've got any random chunks of cream left in it. Oh, that looks pretty well combined, if you ask me. These are going to have to be kept in the fridge. I don't think I have space in the fridge. Oh well. There we go. Yeah, that is nice. Okay, cut a piece out of each. What you use for all the cake. Out of each sponge. So this is basically, if you ever had berry cakes as a child, that's what this is. No, cut you. Your cake, you will bow to my knife. It says about 2 centimeters in diameter. It's roughly 2 centimeters. Nobody's wanting it to be perfect. Not even me, to be honest. It's As long as it tastes nice. It doesn't look too much of a mess. That's what I'm aiming for. So I could use a variation of it. Now obviously, if you were to do, say, a big cake with this recipe, like a sponge cake rather than cupcakes, you would have to alter it slightly. My suggestion would be, instead of, obviously you're not going to sit and cut out bits of the cake, but if you divide the sponge cake into 3, that one was a bit big. And instead of doing this, you soak the middle layer with the coffee mixture. I don't know, I reckon that'd work. See, my sister will like this one because she loves coffee cake. We both love desserts. We both love Italy. Okay, I just cut right out to the bottom of that cupcake. Just going to shove a little bit back in. Baptize the tiramisu, cakey things with the coffee liqueur syrup. And bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. And then also, I want to put it in here as well. That is good. That is basically a very strong espresso martini, and I like it. Just gonna go around some of these. I think need a bit more soaking. Need to put some mascarpone filling inside the cake. Inside the cake. I know Spain was the belladonna too. So if you wish to be my love, I'd urge you to be true. Probably putting too much filling in. Hey ho. Problem. I don't know which one of these goes where, but I know that one is that one. Well, these look attractive. Okay, little note to anyone who has this book and is following this recipe or something similar. When you take your thingies out, take them out in an order and follow that order, putting them back in so you're not just guessing and trying to shove random bits of cake into random cupcakes. Because that is exactly what I'm doing right now. Now, could try and do this artistically. Could get an icing bag out. We have an icing bag. I'm gonna get the icing bag. That's half the fun of baking, is to get to eat it afterwards. They're very, very delicate sponges. Doesn't help that I was very generous with the soaking syrup. That's gone straight through, and not very even with the cutting. It tastes just like tiramisu. That is amazing.
definite win. And I'll see you next month for another savoury and sweet. And with some more crime stories.